Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my mind, got no time for that limelight. I'm from California, man, I guess we'll start with that. Banged out starter caps, glued to the cul-de-sac, looking like an artifact, trying to get their money back. Yellow jackets coming, mama about to have a heart attack. Southeast San Diego, we was at the heart of that. You moved about the hood, my nigga, you ain't want no part of that. Move to work and let the money drip the laundry mat. I pray to God the homie get his little daughter back. So many problems and it's not even a part of rap. So many suckers and they hating and they copycat. And life is bigger than these bitches that you hollered at. And if you bleed it out, I better get $3 back. And all I'm giving is the facts. Pay attention to the stats and never making mention of the jacks. Gotta keep the money stacked, work your way through the traps. Money motivated to the max. Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my.
Yo. What it do, man? What it do? Cali Dre in the motherfucking building, man. And this is the remix with Cali Dre. Salute to everybody, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. Today, I got a very, very, very special guest that we bring into the show, man. You know what I'm saying? If you Skull Gang, if you've been on any of the other platforms that I pop out on, you're gonna recognize this voice. It's Skull Gang Toya, you know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can pop her up on here. How we do this thing.
What up,
There she go.
Callie? Hey, Callie.
What
How
up?
you doing?
Doing good.
You
How
know
you
I'm on the
doing?
go right now. I'm on the go, getting off work on my way to the crib.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you tapping in with me, man. So, I wanted to get you on here, get your opinion on some of these stories I'm about to break down today. So, you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna waste a whole bunch of time with it, man. We're gonna get right to it. You know what I mean? Subscribe to the channel, get the likes up, get the cash apps up. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. So we're gonna get straight to it, man. Y'all see the title of the show? Yeah. They see the title of the show is Major Economic Changes for the US. It's major economic changes for the US, man. We're gonna dip into some of that. Before we do, I wanted to actually go to my Instagram real quick. We spent a lot of time over the last couple of days covering what's going on in Venezuela and some of those things and some that's been happening and transpiring with the bombings and how the world is kind of reacting to this story, man. And so one of the things I didn't get a chance to do last show was to kind of go give a little bit of the what's going on in the world as far as like what the people are saying. You know what I mean? What are some of the politicians saying? What's the sentiment of what's going on, right? And so let's see if I can share this real quick. Is it gonna work for me? Come on, man.
I kind of covered a little bit of the people and the politicians, and it's kind of crazy, like how our media kind of shows us things on a grand scale that, when in reality, is kind of different. So yeah, let me see what you got.
Yeah, for sure, man. Right here, Bernie Sanders, man, dropped a tweet, or I guess was this a post? You know what I'm saying? He said President Trump does not have a constitutional authority to attack another country when 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. He focuses on the crisis. He should focus on the crisis at home, end his illegal military adventurism, and stop trying to run Venezuela for big oil. Right. And so that's what Bernie Sanders had to say, man. Cory Booker also dropped some. He said today, many leaders will rightly condemn President Donald Trump's unlawful and unjust actions in Venezuela, and I join them. So that's I'm not even going to read the rest of that, because the point that I was trying to make with this was, I got a lot of pushback, a lot of people on my TikTok and on my YouTube, man. Hey, matter of fact, subscribe to the TikTok, Cali Dre. Subscribe to the YouTube, the remix with Cali Dre. But a lot of y'all in the comments, man, you know what I'm saying, talking a lot of trash to your boy, like, I don't know what I'm talking about, man, saying when I said that this was an illegal invasion, and it most definitely was very illegal and unlawful. And so you have a couple of senators right here who have kind of expressed those same feelings, man. So I just wanted to definitely let that be known. Toya, did you have something you want to add to that?
Even the lady that's supposed to be, I don't know if she's running or if she is the runner-up for the election or whatever. She's supposed to be taking power in Venezuela, and at first she was really a big supporter of Trump. Even when she won, like, her Nobel Peace Prize, she was like, you know, Trump should be getting this. Woo, woo, woo. She was really a Trump glazer, but she took to the podium, I think yesterday after his speech, and was like, nah, he can't come over here and think he finna just run some things. So, you know, like a lot of people around the board are like, nah, what you did is wrong.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and that's really the main sentiment. That's really the main sentiment that I've been hearing. That's from people that are not tapped in with Trump. Right, all the Trumpers are, you know, they're defending these actions and all that. But the people who really around the world that don't have a dog in the fight, or even some people in the opposition party are definitely saying that, you know, this was an unlawful, illegal, you know, act, and you know it can't be tolerated. And on that note, man, I want to just tap in with the let's tap in real quick with the Venezuelan people, man, and see, you know what I'm saying? Let's see what they think about this whole thing, man. You know what I mean? Oh, actually, whoa. What we got going on here? We got a little trouble playing the video. Are they gonna let me play it? Okay, there we go. There we go. Oh wait, now this is in New York City. My bad. This is in New York City. So this is people protesting in New York City. You know what I mean? There is video of people in Venezuela that was protesting. Man, I actually wanted to show that because I thought it was real powerful. Man, let me see if I can pull this up real quick because
I
I did
did
see some.
I did see it, and it was like people doing interviews in the street. I seen like two women, because the post that I seen was like, it's always a woman. The woman was like, no, this is our land, this is our people, like Venezuela people stand up, like that type of shit, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, protest, man. See, I just found this video. Let me see what this look like. Okay, yeah. So I got a video right here, man. Let me add this to the stage real quick. Remove that. Mm, bear with me, gang, man. Get the likes up, cash apps
Let
up.
me try to share you out real quick, Callie. Hold on. Let me
Okay.
drop. I'm gonna drop down and come right back.
All right, bet.
All
Here go the
right.
video right here from Venezuela. Here go the people protesting live, man. These are people that's in support of Maduro, and they don't want to see him being attacked by the U.S. forces. So they've been protesting all day out in Venezuela, man. The streets is thick out there. Venezuelan pride is look like is kicking up, man. So, you know, like I said, right now, you know, this situation hasn't turned to anything that's in a violent nature yet. You know what I mean? But you know, once people start protesting and that national pride kicks in, you know, I think that, you know, that could change, and that's the dangerous part of this situation. Right now, you know, we're getting the message that, you know, the Trump invasion went very smoothly, and that there weren't any casualties, and that, you know, we're getting this rosy picture. You know, that the Venezuelan people are in full support of this effort, but that's not the case. You know what I mean? That's not the case. These people have been out in the streets in masses. They've been protesting. If you listen to some of the protests, they're in favor of Maduro. They want the U.S. To return Maduro. So you know, I just want to make sure that we are, you know, giving both sides of the equation, man, and making sure that like people understand, you know, both sides of this thing, man. But yeah, that's a part of the play that you know this administration has been running, is that like all of the Venezuelan people, they want us there, and they're happy that we're there, and you know that's not the case, man. So there's been protests going on all over the world, some in Venezuela as well, where they were out en masse. So you know that's definitely one of the things that I wanted to show on this channel, man. And we're gonna be tapping in with the Venezuela situation a lot, man. We're gonna get right back to that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's really important. That's setting the stage for what I think, you know, is what Trump's distraction plan is, right? He's trying to distract from a lot of these issues that he's got going on. Mainly, in my opinion, these Epstein files. And so it's I find it very interesting that, you know, a week after we find that there's a million documents that were, you know, not brought to the forefront, when they were supposed to be brought to the forefront. A week later, Trump starting a war that nobody asked for. So I definitely want to just show both sides of the coin, man. We're not taking the administration's word for any of this, man. You know what I mean? We we are gonna show all all of the angles and make sure that the people understand every angle of it. You know what I mean? Here's another video that I found, man. Let's take a look at what they're talking about here as far as what's going on in Venezuela on the ground. See if we can get a little bit more information here.
Feeling uncertain about their future. People are queuing outside of supermarkets and pharmacies after the overnight operation knocked out electricity in parts of the city. In the city, protesters have gathered to demand Nicolas Maduro be freed.
We are asking for the liberation of our president. We elected him by vote. He is a president. He won the elections. Besides that, Mr. Trump is thinking if he takes him away, the revolution ends. No, the revolution continues, because we are not going to allow the people who tried to kill us to come and take power in Venezuela.
So that's kind of the sentiment on the ground, right? The Venezuelan people aren't just sitting by, and they're not just cheering for the removal of their president, man. They are they're talking revolution, and with that talk comes action in most cases, man. So we got to be very careful with the next moves that the United States makes. Trump, he broke it. Now he bought it, man. And so we're gonna see what the plan is to actually bring some peace and stability to this region, man. Let me we got Skull Gang Toya back. What you got to say, Toya?
That's why I'm saying it's very sketchy waters by him doing that, because like I said, the people of Venezuela are not just sitting back. Like, yeah, they're happy that the dictator is gone, but they're not just sitting back like, okay, yeah, now you can come and take over and be our new dictator. Like, they're gonna have a uprising, and then China ain't just sitting back either. Like, okay, that's cool that you did that. Like, nah, they not. People are gonna be like, we finna fuck you up, basically, because you coming over here fucking up shit that we got going on. China, the U.S. has already been sanctioning Venezuela for doing business with China anyway. So now you gonna come and do this shit? You know what I mean? Like, when we've been trying for years to do business with each other, and y'all been coming and being the middleman. I just feel like it's gonna be a whole uprising, and he just opened the door for them to do some 9/11 type shit all over again.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. He definitely opened Pandora's box with this, man. Let me see what else let's get back to the people and see what they talking about.
Is unprecedented. I was born here in this neighborhood. My father was a founder, and this has never been seen before. It was unprecedented, a terrifying experience. We're still on edge, and now we're uncertain about what to do.
I feel fear. It's a mixture of joy because we know freedom is near, but fear because there are still many people here that are under government control, that are still in Venezuela, and we don't know what they might do, what might happen.
Well, with the leadership vacuum, we've just heard Venezuelan Vice President Delcy Rodriguez, who addressed the nation after the capture of the president.
Yeah, man. So I just wanted to bring y'all a little bit from the people, man. You know what I'm saying? To bring y'all a little bit from the people of Venezuela and just see how they feel about this whole, about this whole situation, man. So yeah, I just wanted to tap in with that for a little bit. We're gonna shift gears a little bit right here, man. Get the likes up, get the cash apps up. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. You feel me? We're gonna shift gears a little bit here because there's a couple more stories that I want to cover for y'all. So as I was doing my prep for the show, looking for some interesting stories and topics to bring y'all, man, I ran across a few things that definitely caught my attention, man, and just gave me some pause and made me think about kind of what direction we going in as a country, man, and the current state of the economics here in America, man, and what the outlook is and all those kind of things, man. And so I ran across a couple of interesting stories, man. The first one has to do with what's going on in Canada, man, our neighbor to the north, you know what I mean? And so if you guys don't know, there has been a Canada and the United States have kind of been going back and forth based on the tariffs that Donald Trump has instituted on, you know, most of the countries in the world that we do business with, right? And so a few months back, there was a story about Canada and how they were responding to the tariff war. And so here, let me bring this up on the stage really quick for y'all, man. But yeah, so we got it says here, Kentucky bourbon distilleries struggle amid the trade war, right? And this is the Donald Trump tariff trade war. Share this with y'all real quick. All right, let's tap in, man, and see what they're talking about on this real quick. So this is kind of explaining what's going on with the tariff situation, man, and how the Kentucky distilleries are you know, what's going to happen with them during this trade war.
Kentucky's bourbon industry is already feeling the effects of President Trump's trade war as the White House applies pressure on Canada. Kentucky distilleries say it is their businesses that are taking the hit. Canadians are removing U.S. alcohol from their shelves and canceling shipments for more. Let's bring in NBC News correspondent Maggie Vespa. Maggie, you've been looking into this. What else did you?
So, as it was stated here, the Canadians, man, they've been canceling shipments. They're not buying the liquor from our bourbon distilleries. They taking American liquor off the shelves, and this is having an impact, man, on what's going on in the Midwest, and with you know, some companies is closing down. It's affecting supply chains. So let's tap in with this a little bit. Let's see what this video talking about.
Find out.
Yeah, guys, good morning. A real hardship of an assignment, as you can imagine. But really, this was such a fascinating insight into perhaps the first American industry, or at least one of the first, to get hit so hard so early by this trade war that they can now show us kind of quantifiable, tangible impacts. And suffice it to say, for American whiskey producers, this new reality is sobering.
At Michter's Distillery in Louisville, iconic Kentucky bourbon is distilled, aged, bottled, and shipped to more than 80 countries. Their largest foreign market, Canada, where most provinces are now defiantly pulling American liquor from store shelves.
It's definitely caused a hit to our business.
So look, this isn't even a government spot. Hold on, let me put my camera up for this. This ain't even a government sponsored like pullback, right? The people in the provinces have taken a look at what's going on in America and what our relationship has deteriorated with Canada, and the people have kind of taken the initiative to say that they don't really want American products on their shelves. So I think that's a very impactful thing, man. When even the people of other countries can kind of see what direction we're going in, and how it's a sudden change from the direction that we've been going in with our long-term partners. You know what I mean? Our neighbor. Our direct neighbor to the north, man. You know what I'm saying?
Our allies. Those are people that's been our allies for a long time.
Yeah, most definitely. And Trump is slapping tariffs on them. And so we're gonna see how this affects what's going on here at home, man.
Operating officer.
Orders have been canceled. That's the reality of it.
Already orders have been canceled.
Yes, we have $115,000 of product sitting.
That product is just sitting here in Michter's warehouse with Canada-specific labels on these bottles in English and in French. They don't know what to do with this, and if nothing changes, they fear their losses will grow. The timing couldn't be worse for many American whiskey producers. One study showing the industry recently saw a nearly 2% drop in revenue. Amid the slowdown, the CEO of Jack Daniel's parent company called Canada's product pull worse than a tariff because it's literally taking your sales away.
I don't sleep right now.
You don't sleep right now?
I don't sleep.
At Bro Brothers.
This brother right here losing sleep. You know what I'm saying? This brother in this suit right here losing sleep. Shit real out here, man.
His hairline getting pushed back in some more shit. That nigga said, I'm losing. I don't sleep right now, man. That shit is real.
Out here, man. This shit real.
Distillery, Victor Yarborough is in the middle of building a massive new tasting room. That expansion banking on a deal to start selling spirits in Canada. That deal now dead. He's scrambling to find a plan B.
Maybe.
So these are American businesses, right? Small, medium, large businesses. But these are American companies that are suffering because of the tariff policies of the Trump administration, man. This brother right here losing sleep. You know what I'm saying? Let's tap in a little bit more and see what's
But
going on
what's
with
the
it.
name of the company? Did he say Bourbon Brothers?
Yeah, Bourbon Brothers. Yep.
That's not a small whiskey company. That Kentucky whiskey. Those are not small whiskey companies. Those are really name brand whiskeys. From a reformed alcoholic myself.
Well, there you go.
But
You heard it here first.
those are major brands that are losing sales for real, for real. So
Yeah.
like it may look like something small, but those are companies taking losses. Those are people losing jobs. You know what I mean? With losses, they have to lay people off. So it's a whole trickle down effect. And they was talking about it was gonna trickle down. The money was gonna trickle down, but I think the losses are trickling down more than the money, if you ask me.
Absolutely, man. That's the Republican motto, right? They privatize the gains and they socialize the losses. Think about that, man.
We'll take 5% of that. Maybe India will take 10% of that.
But he worries any export plan feels like a risk in an industry with profits already going down the drain.
It could be a country we're speaking with right now until all of a sudden you guys are going to get hit with tariffs next. And then that deal falls through. So it's a constant uncertainty.
So y'all hear that, right? This is a business owner, man, a business dude that runs a business who's saying that when tariffs come on the table, he's having to cancel deals. He's losing business because of these tariffs, man. So that directly counteracts the narrative that comes from the administration that, the United States is
America first.
Yeah, and that the United States is greatly benefiting off of tariffs. As you guys can see, these tariffs are causing businesses to lose money, lose revenue, and eventually they're gonna have to shut down, man. So this video was about 9 months ago, man. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get a little update, man, and see what the industry is looking like kind of today. You know what I mean? So that was like 9 months ago when the tariff action first started getting hot. You know what I mean? Let's tap in and see what's going on. Let's tap in and see what's going on more currently and more recently, man. Let me see. Get the likes up, get the cash apps up, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in with me, man.
Callie Dre in the building.
Callie's Dre in the building. Skull Gang Toy in the building too. You know what I mean? Let's go.
With family, Donald Trump chose that exact moment to publicly humiliate America's closest ally. He didn't just criticize Canada. He didn't just threaten tariffs. He suggested, again, that Canada should surrender its sovereignty and become the 51st state of the United States. He treated an independent nation like a subordinate territory.
I can't hear it, Callie.
Washington's convenience. The Republican
Oh, you
establishment
can't hear the video?
You got to make sure you have you
depended
switch
on Canadian
the
markets.
sound on when you
Party
share
leaders
it.
who claim to
from
champion
Hold
American
on. Let's run that back because I thought y'all could hear it. Hold up, y'all can't hear the video. Let me see. Give me 1 second here. Let me try to remove it. Add it back. Let me see.
and far more devastating.
Can you hear it?
Finally,
Can you
at a
hear it?
scale that could no longer be ignored. What emerged was the largest consumer-driven boycott Canada has seen
You guys
in
hear the
modern
video?
memory. And it wasn't random. It was focused, strategic, and brutally effective.
Let me make
The
sure. it ain't
boycott
just me,
zeroed in
'cause I can't hear.
You can't hear it? Let me know in the comments, man, if y'all can hear the
Christmas Day
video.
2025. While most Americans were celebrating with family, Donald Trump chose that exact moment to publicly humiliate America's.
Hold on. Give me 1 second, man. Give me 1 second. Let me know in the comments, man, if y'all can hear the video. Let me try to just do something real quick. You heard the last video, right? You can hear the last video. Toya, you still there with me? All right. Let me know in the comments, man, if y'all can
A
hear the
facility
video.
that has operated continuously since the 1930s is going dark. 1,500 unionized workers, people who did absolutely nothing to provoke this crisis, are now staring at an uncertain future. Families who built their lives around stable manufacturing jobs are facing layoffs because Donald Trump couldn't resist insulting Canada on Christmas. The explanations coming from industry executives are telling, not because they're convincing, but because they reveal just how desperate the situation has become. We're hearing about facility upgrades. We're hearing about inventory management. We're hearing vague references to changing consumer preferences among younger generations. None of that withstands even basic scrutiny. Production is already down dramatically. Sales to Canada, historically one of bourbon's most reliable export markets, have fallen off a cliff. And yet the industry wants.
Yeah, so I don't know if y'all can hear the video or not, man. Let me know in the comments if y'all can hear the video. But what she's saying basically, that the bourbon sales is going downhill. You know what I'm saying? All the sales to Canada are trending downward. It's going down.
Callie, they can hear you. I can't hear you on I'm going in my house now. I couldn't hear
Oh,
you. I
okay.
had to tap in from my other phone.
Okay, bet. All right, let me keep running it. Get the likes up.
Wants us to believe this is all just coincidence, that a market collapse of this magnitude has nothing to do with the political crisis everyone can see happening in real time. Local journalists in Kentucky aren't buying it, and they're telling readers exactly where to look if they want answers. Look north. What makes this damage particularly dangerous for American bourbon producers is how consumer markets actually work. Once a habit is broken, it doesn't automatically reset just because political conditions change.
Let me
Mind
see what else
instead.
she's talking about.
Be done. This
She
is
goes
already
more.
filed for bankruptcy.
Oh, there we
And
go. So
smaller
here, look.
distilleries have been hit even harder. One prominent Kentucky bourbon producer has already filed for bankruptcy. And what happened next should alarm anyone who understands how the industry operates. When the company attempted to use its aging barrels of whiskey as collateral to secure emergency financing, the bankruptcy court rejected the proposal outright. Expert testimony made it devastating.
So, as you can see, the tariff policy that we have going with Canada is actually costing American businesses, their revenue and their business, man, costing them deals. It's costing them, relationships. And so when you hear all these things about tariffs, man, and you hear that, all these positive news that America is we're showing on, these other countries, and America is making money, but you got to think what's going on the back end, right? Because those tariffs are taxes. Those taxes are not going to be, the countries that the tariffs are going to, they're not going to absorb the tax, and the businesses that are selling the goods aren't going to absorb the tax. So, you guys got to, think about what's going on, man. When you hear all these words of tariffs and things like that, and how they really affect American business.
Devastatingly clear. The secondary market for bourbon barrels, assets that were once considered reliable long-term stores of value, had completely collapsed. The judge's assessment was stark and unforgiving. Selling that inventory would require enormous discounts, if buyers could even be found at all. Think about what that means. An entire asset class, something the industry had relied on for generations as a financial safety net, hollowed out almost overnight. A decade ago, American whiskey was experiencing a golden age. Exports were booming. New craft distilleries were opening across Kentucky and Tennessee. Investors were eager to get involved. Industry analysts spoke confidently about unlimited growth potential. American bourbon had become a genuine global cultural export, a symbol of American craftsmanship, tradition, and quality. Foreign consumers didn't just buy it as a commodity, they bought into the story, the heritage, the image of authenticity. That narrative took generations to build, and now it's been shattered, not by changing consumer tastes, not by superior competition from international producers, but by a self-inflicted political wound delivered by a president who fundamentally misunderstood where economic power actually resides in the modern world.
So yeah, man, as y'all can see, she gave a good breakdown of what's going on with the Canadian relationship and our Kentucky Midwest, South and Midwest bourbon and liquor distilleries. A lot of them, small, medium, and large, are going out of business because of the Trump tariff policies. We got Skull Gang Toya back in the building, man. You want to add something to this? Okay, yeah, nah, she probably getting her mic together. But basically, Trump tariff policies is fucking up the economics of America. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one, man. And so that's kind of the point of this string of videos that I'm showing y'all, man. Another example of that same concept, and it actually deals with our relationship with Canada, man. And it says here that Canadians dump Florida homes, $1 billion in real estate exodus after Trump's 51st state threat. And so let's take a look at this video, man, so we can kind of see what's going on over in Florida, man. We've been in the South and the Midwest with it. Now we about to jump over here to Florida with it, man, and see what's going on. Get the likes up, get the cash apps up, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. It's the remix with Kelly Dre. Let's go.
While Donald Trump was joking about making Canada the 51st state and threatening comprehensive tariffs, something unprecedented started happening in Florida's real estate market. Canadians who have owned property in the Sunshine State for decades began selling their homes en masse. And the numbers tell a story that Florida's tourism industry desperately doesn't want you to know. Federal Reserve Bank data shows that just 1 month after Trump escalated trade tensions with Canada in early 2025, Palm Beach County home listings spiked to the highest level they've been in 10 years. Not a gradual increase, not a seasonal fluctuation, a spike, the kind of sudden surge that happens when an entire demographic makes a collective decision to get out. According to public records, 321 Palm Beach County homes with Canadian mailing addresses sold in 2025. Boynton Beach, West Palm Beach, and Boca Raton led the exodus. These aren't distressed sales or foreclosures. These are Canadians who built lives in Florida, who spent winters there for 20, 30 years, who are now walking away because they no longer feel welcome in a country whose president openly mocks their sovereignty. And this is just Palm Beach County. The trend extends across the entire Florida coast from Miami to Fort Lauderdale to the Gulf.
So the Canadians is pissed off, basically. You know what I'm saying? Canada's pissed off with these tariff policies, and they not taking this shit lying down, man. They playing hardball, and they hitting back. And so, you know, this is another example out there of how the tariff policies are coming back to bite our U.S. industries in the ass, man. And you know, you see it in Kentucky with the liquor distilleries. You see it here now in Florida with real estate, over $1 billion exodus from Florida because the Canadians is pissed off about how Donald Trump is running this foreign tariff policy, man.
Can you hear
Yeah, I can hear you.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Salute to everybody, man. Leave me a comment, man, and let me know what y'all think about this video. Let me know what y'all think about this topic, man. We're gonna tap in with this a little bit more and see what's going on in Florida, man.
Real estate agents who have worked Florida's luxury markets for decades say they've never seen anything like this. One broker told local media she had 0 Canadian buyers this year, 0 after 12 years of consistent Canadian clientele. The market just disappeared overnight. Here's what makes this economic crisis.
The market disappeared overnight. Hold on, let me put myself on the screen for this. The market's disappeared overnight. We've been dealing with Canada for years. Ain't had no problems. Ain't nobody tripping. They spending money with us long and wide. You know what I'm saying? And now, because of the incompetence that we got going on in the White House at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, shit getting fucked up, man. We losing billions and billions of dollars. Companies is closing down, and not only in the South and the Mid, or not only in Kentucky and in the Midwest, but also in Florida. You know what I'm saying? You had anything you want to add to this story? You good? All right, we're gonna keep rolling. Get the likes up and get the cash apps up for me. Let's go.
Particularly devastating for Florida. Canadians aren't just tourists who visit for a week and leave. They are Florida's largest international real estate buyers, accounting for 17% of all foreign home purchases and spending well over $1 billion annually. They buy property.
Spilling $1 billion annually. So Trump's tariffs have cost us $1 billion of annual revenue in Florida. How much was it? Somebody put in the comments and tell me how much was it that Trump has said that we made off the tariffs, right? And so I think it was something in the range of a couple $100 million. So again, I do math. That's what I do, man, as a day job. When I'm not in here tapped in with y'all, man, analyzing some shit, forecasting some shit, budgeting some shit, trying to put some money together, trying to put some plays together with some financials, man. So, numbers make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? And so, if we making hundreds of millions on the tariffs, but we losing $1 billion in just one state, the state of Florida, right? and you know the losses. I don't even know if they've been calculated yet as far as how much the bourbon distilleries, the liquor distilleries are losing. You know, the math don't math, man. The math don't add up, and so you guys got to be very careful with the wordplay and the wordsmithing that goes on with this administration, man, and the smoke and mirrors. And that's a part of the reason why I created this channel, man, is to provide clarity in a lot of these situations, man, and to break down the word salad, you know, that they use to try to spin, program, and manipulate the American people.
Callie, can you hear me?
They pay
Yeah, I can hear you. You back?
Man,
Can you hear me?
it's like the StreamYard gods are against me, friend. I'm it would
Yeah,
not.
I hear you clear now. I hear you loud and clear now.
Okay, we good.
Yeah,
Let's
you
work
good
out.
now.
I'm
You
sorry.
good. For
I'm
sure.
so
Nah,
sorry.
you good, man. Hey, get the likes up and get the cash apps up for Skull Gang Toya, man. We finna rock this shit out, man. Let's get to the rest of this video though, and then we're gonna tap in one more place, man. But I want to get a little bit more information here about what's going on in Florida. We got a mass exodus from Florida's real estate market. Canadians is pissed off and they're not spending money with America no more, man. How y'all feel about that? Put it in the comments. Let me know.
property taxes, they invest in local businesses, they anchor entire communities economically. The Atlantic Hotel and Spa in Fort Lauderdale calls itself a Canadian hotel because of how dependent their business model has been on Canadian visitors and property owners. As of July 2025, their Canadian bookings were down 32% compared to the previous year. By December, the manager was publicly begging Canadians to return.
Listen, shit down 32%. Okay, from last year.
Y'all want to play with us? All
You
right,
feel me?
let's play.
Come on, man. You got the real estate, Florida real estate dudes calling Canada, begging for them to come back. But please, baby, don't leave. You know what I'm saying? They on their Teddy Pendergrass shit over there in Florida, man.
Charlene, Anthony Hamilton,
You feel me? They on that Keith Sweat shit over there in Florida, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on, man. Let me get a little bit more of this and just see where we're going with it.
We have desperately seen a decline, she told reporters. We are begging and welcoming and hoping that the Canadians come back. But they're not coming back. And the reason they're staying away has nothing to do with economics and everything to do with respect. Survey data from Fort Lauderdale hotels reveals exactly why Canadians are abandoning Florida.
Respect, man. Respect can't be overstated. You know what I mean? Having a little bit of respect in this world, man, could get you very far, or it can cut your legs real short. You know what I'm saying? Respect is a very, very important thing out there, man. I just want to throw that out there, man. Let me see what else you talking about.
And some people
50% of
Oh yeah, go ahead.
some people take their respect real serious. And I respect Canada as a nation for sticking together and saying, you know what? You ain't finna dick us around. We gonna pull out all as one. Cause you know, sometimes you have little scragglers like, well, I kind of like them a little bit, and they still be doing business. As a whole, Canada said, fuck y'all. I respect it.
Yeah, most definitely. I respect it too, man. Mr. King said, Mr. King LX said, yo, new sub, salute. Hey, salute, fam. I appreciate you subbing to the
King
channel, man.
LX. salute.
Yeah, we
Turn
appreciate
alive,
you,
King
King.
LX, telling people to get over here.
Yes, sir. Get them people the fuck over here, man. We talking some real shit, man. Let's see what else we got going on in Florida, man.
Canadian guests who stopped coming cited the economic environment that took effect in January 2025. But when you dig deeper into what they're actually saying, it's not about money, it's about dignity. They're saying since the changes around January that in the economic environment, they don't feel welcome here in Florida or the United States, one hotel manager explained. Think about what that means. These are people who have spent decades building relationships in Florida communities, who know their favorite restaurants by name, who have friends, routines, and emotional connections.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna give y'all the short version of what she about to say. Them Canadians been out there spending money, partying, you know what I'm saying, in South Beach, showing their motherfucking ass. And now y'all done pissed them off and they taking their money elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the long and short of that, man. I think y'all kind of get the gist of where that's going. You feel me?
That lady
Yeah, go
right
ahead.
there, she look AI as fuck. But she did a real interview with Donald Trump. That's how I know who she is. But
Yeah. Yeah,
That bitch,
Caitlyn.
she be looking AI, and she low key look
Yeah,
like she is mean as hell. But
yeah,
I
yeah,
done
yeah.
seen her a couple of times. She look AI, but she
Yeah,
real.
yeah, she real. She do her, she do her she actually was a correspondent, I believe. So she was like on the White House correspondent like level, you know what I mean? She was getting the exclusives with the president, and you know what I'm saying? That's kind of where they have her. She's like a White House correspondent. So so yeah, she got exclusive access for sure, man. So yeah, I mean, to sum that segment up, I guess I would say, you know, fuck them tariffs and let's get Canada back on board, because they spending a whole lot more money, man, than we making off them damn tariffs, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this whole thing, this tariff thing is gonna get very interesting, man. And speaking of the tariffs, right? So this last video, man, I wanted to cut those short because I want to spend the rest of this time really breaking down this next video, man, and getting to some understanding about some things, man. And I think that Rachel does an amazing job of setting the stage and explaining exactly what's going on with the current state of the economy here in America. And she uses a very specific example to illustrate her point, man. And so we're going to take a listen to, man, and see what Miss Rachel Maddow was talking about today. Get the likes up, get the cash apps up for me, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. We're gonna get some good learning and some good understanding right here, man. Go ahead, Taya.
King Alex said that a hella people went to Houston instead of Florida in 2025. That's because Florida had kind of put a PSA like they ain't want to do the spring break there no more. Do you remember that, Kelly Dre? Where Florida was like, you know how everybody used to go to Florida for the spring break shit, but they kind of made it seem like they ain't want the niggas there this year.
Right.
And so that's why a lot of people was like, all right, fuck Florida. Like, all right.
Wasn't like the cruise lines or some shit? Wasn't people pissed off at like the Carnival cruises or something? Was that in Florida?
The Carnival has kind of said they was gonna take their rap music out of the Carnival and shit like that. Florida started tripping with us.
Right. So yeah, it's been a it's been a tricky situation, man, with what's going on out here in this political environment, man. And what people have to understand, that these decisions, man, they have consequences. They cost American people jobs, money, lives, but the people at the top aren't really feeling that, right? If gas prices go up $2 a gallon, a lot of the elites ain't feeling that. None of the elites are feeling that, but you feeling that working at your day to day. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling that. So for me, it's just about providing good information for the people, man. However y'all feel about me, hey, leave it in the comments, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm with all the smoke. Let me know how you feeling. You know what I mean? But for me, I just feel like bringing good information to the forefront, man, helps us all. You know what I'm saying? It starts a debate. Whether you believe me or not, it's gonna make you do some research to come, and tell me I'm wrong. So, what you had to say?
Everybody love to hate you, Callie, over there in Sco. You know what I mean? One time Sco had told me, though, he was like, Toya, you know why everybody don't like you? Because you always right. Nobody likes the person that's always right. At some point, they want to prove you wrong. Prove me wrong by doing your own thorough research and then coming back and tell me what you found. You know what I mean? Make me motherfucking proud or something. You know what I mean?
Most definitely.
Shut my motherfucking mouth with the facts. Slap my ass around with the facts.
Hey, listen, if you are able to, provide me with some information that I didn't have before, I'm definitely gonna give you props on that, right? But I'm also not the type of person that's just gonna take random information and just take it at face value. Like, I'm gonna go do my research and make sure what you're telling me is true. You feel me? Because I know what I'm telling you is true. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So let's tap in, man. Let's tap in. I want to get to this video, man, and see what's going on with Walmart, man. Walmart. Breaking news. Walmart, y'all favorite superstore. Is it here to stay, or is Walmart trying to get the fuck up out the U.S. and
That's gonna
go
be
get their
crazy
bread
work.
everywhere, man? Yeah, get
That's
their bread
gonna be
elsewhere.
crazy work. I
Yeah.
mean, I think it would be good for a consumer on a consumer base. I'm gonna just put my opinion out there before you. Can I do that?
Go. Yeah, handle your business.
On a consumer based level, I think it would be good because if they take their business overseas, that means they get cheaper labor. That means they can ship their products over here for cheaper because now they don't have to pay the tariffs for their products to be, or do they? Would they? I don't know. But however that
So
works, I think we would end up getting the better end of the deal as a consumer. For one, they ain't got to pay high ass labor for their workers.
yeah, we gonna get into it, man. Those are all great questions, man. And actually, I was gonna pull an answer, you know what I'm saying, out the mental computer, but you know what, man? Rachel breaking this shit down.
Okay, let's
A1. So let's get to it, man. Without
Okay.
further ado, Miss Rachel Maddow breaking down Walmart leaving the United States for good, man. Let's go.
That happens when the thing you rely on, the thing that is just supposed to be there, the thing that feels like the furniture of your life, suddenly threatens to get up and walk out the door. We are used to thinking about the economy in terms of abstract numbers. We look at the stock market ticker tape. We look at the unemployment rate. We look at inflation percentages that get read out by people in suits on cable news. But the real economy, the one that you and I actually live in, is measured in much more tangible things. It is measured in the gallon of milk. It is measured in the cost of a new set of tires. It is measured in the checkout line at the place where, statistically speaking, more Americans buy their groceries than anywhere else on earth. That place, of course, is Walmart. And for decades, the deal with Walmart has been very simple. It has been an implicit contract between the biggest retailer in the world and the American consumer. The deal was this. They build the massive logistical empire. They squeeze the supply chain until it screams. They scour the globe for the cheapest possible manufacturing. And in exchange, you get the lowest possible price. You get the rollback. You get the predictability. You get the sense that no matter what else is happening in the world, the prices at the big box store are going to stay relatively flat. That was the deal. That was the era of globalization that defined the late 20th and early 21st centuries.
That was yesterday's price. You know what I'm saying? And as they say, yesterday's price is not today's price, my nigga.
Facts.
But what
Shit is
happens
going
when
up.
that deal is broken?
Oh, go ahead. What'd you say?
Nah, I said shit is going up daily. Shit,
Oh, yeah.
by the minute. Hell, you
Most
mean?
definitely. Most definitely. Most definitely. Hold up. Let me see what we got here.
Broken. Not because shoppers stopped showing up, and not because the company forgot how to do logistics, but because the government changed the rules of the game so fundamentally that the math no longer works. We're looking at a headline right now that feels like a glitch in the simulation. We are looking at a story that suggests the biggest employer in the United States, a company that is essentially synonymous with the American retail landscape, is making a strategic decision to pivot away from the United States. Walmart ditching the U.S. sounds like a contradiction in terms. It sounds like saying the ocean is ditching the water. But if you look at what is actually happening in the policy world, if you look at the decisions being made in the White House and how those decisions ripple out to the loading docks and the distribution centers, this is not just a scare story. This is the logical economic consequence of a very specific political choice. We are talking about tariffs. We are talking about tariffs. You know what I'm saying? I pinned that link in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to come up, pop out, and talk to us, man. We're gonna get through this video.
Yo,
what's good? What's good?
What's good, bro?
Chilling, man.
What's
Welcome
up,
to the
King
show.
Alex?
What you got on this topic, man? You got anything on this? King LS, you got anything on this? All right, man. Show must go on. We're gonna keep it rolling. Let's tap in with Rachel, man. Let's get a little bit more of what's going on with Walmart.
About the new aggressive protectionist policies from the Trump administration. And we are talking about the collision between a political ideology that says we can tax our way to prosperity and the economic reality of a company that relies on moving goods across borders to keep prices down.
When you hear that Walmart is ditching the US, what we are really talking about is a fundamental restructuring of how they do business, because the cost of serving the American market under these new tariffs has become unsustainable for their business model. To understand why this is happening right now, you have to peel back the layers of what a tariff actually is. There is a lot of rhetoric out there. There is a lot of tough talk about making other countries pay, about bringing jobs back, about punishing foreign competitors. And that sounds great on a bumper sticker. It sounds strong. But in the cold, hard light of a corporate boardroom, a tariff is just a tax.
Let's stop the motherfucking video right there. I hear a lot of my Republican MAGA-leaning friends saying that a tariff is not a tax. A tariff is exactly that. It's a tax. That's all it is. King Alex, what's up with you?
It make me crazy. Hey, King Alex. It make me crazy because I feel like we have been repeating that what a tariff is since the shit became a popular word during the campaign. Like, I feel like we have been explaining exactly what the hell a tariff will do to us and what exactly it is. And people still need I can't believe they still need this breakdown, but go ahead.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. You know what I'm saying? It's real simple shit. You know what I mean? It's a country, you know, what a country is a tariff is a tax on a country. The country is not going to eat that tax. They're going to pass it to the business, right? The business is not going to eat that tax. They're going to pass it to you, the consumer. So it's a pass-through tax. You know what I mean? Rachel going to dip more into it a little bit. King Alex, you got something you want to add to this?
Yeah, like I ain't gonna lie. This is why the factory jobs that we once had before, this is why they should have never took them away and outsourced them. We wouldn't be going through this.
You know, that's a great point, man. She gonna actually tap into a little bit of that during the video, but you're exactly right with that, man. It's kind of that's what Walmart provides for us, which is and companies like that, right? They'll say, hey, we'll go get the shit from China, we'll bring it to you. You might not be able to make a damn microwave here in America, but we'll give you one for $40, $50, $30. You know what I mean? And so that's the advantage of having a Walmart.
You know who's gonna take over if Walmart leave?
Who that?
Jeff Bezos.
Who's it? What he got? What, Amazon? Is that Amazon?
Yep. You know, they already got the Whole Food store and Sprite. They just waiting for their opportunity. And then guess what? They already deliver packages to us. They own Weed Maps. I don't know if you and Kelly. So they own the ones that deliver. They monopolize that. So it's just
they got the infrastructure. They definitely got the infrastructure.
They delivering cars to your door. Like, they got cars on Amazon now too that you can just go on there. You can lease you a car. You can buy a car. You can buy cars off of Amazon.
And I could have sworn, in the 1900s that was against the antitrust laws. But guess what? All this shit is a repeat of the late 1800s and early 1900s.
Yeah, that's a good observation, man. I think you're 100% correct with that, and I say exactly the same thing, right? Is they trying to get it back to where the employer had all the power and the people were working for pennies on the dollar, right? Because if they can squeeze your pay, they can squeeze the next person's pay. He'll end up working for less, and then you'll end up working for less, and it's just a race to the bottom. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what they're setting up with a lot of this shit. I wholeheartedly agree with that, man. Let me play a little bit more of this and tap in with Rachel and see what she's talking about on this, because she gives a great breakdown of this whole thing, man. Let me see what she's talking about.
It is a tax that is paid at the border, not by the country sending the goods, but by the company bringing them in. So when the administration announces a sweeping new round of tariffs, they are effectively handing a massive tax bill to companies like Walmart. And Walmart operates on razor-thin margins. They make their money on volume. They do not have a massive cushion to just absorb a 20 or 60% increase in the cost of the goods sitting on their shelves. So they have a choice. They can pass that cost on to you, which destroys their entire brand promise of low prices. Or they can look at the map of the world and say, maybe the American market with these new artificial costs is no longer the best place to focus our growth. Maybe we need to shift our supply chains, shift our inventory, and shift our focus to markets where the government isn't actively making it more expensive to sell a toaster or a t-shirt. This is the story that is getting buried under the political noise. We are so focused on the horse race of who is up and who is down in Washington that we miss the tectonic shift happening in the real economy. If Walmart is signaling a retreat from the U.S. market or a massive reduction in its U.S. footprint or a shift in its supply chain that effectively cuts out the American consumer from the best prices, that is a blinking red light for the entire economy.
I think she's absolutely right about that. I got a guy that, one of my boys, man. Shout out to my boy CP, man, out in Texas, man. He's a home builder. He's got properties. And one of the things that he told me when he first got into the property game, man, and I was like, you know, where how do I know where's a good spot to buy? You know what I'm saying? And he was telling me, he was like, man, you want to follow wherever the Walmarts and the Home Depots is at, because that's where the commerce is going on. That's where the people are. You know what I mean? And I thought that was just a great kind of gauge of just, you know, society and kind of what our society is today, right? And if you think about it, you know, if you see a Walmart superstore, you see a Home Depot, it's some building going on over there. There's probably some construction going on over there. There's families going on over there. So Walmart, you know, has kind of become a staple of American life, you know, in rural places in the city. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, what y'all got on that? Y'all got anything to add on that?
I used to work for Home Depot, so I know you ain't lying. I worked at a Home Depot. They owned all the land, like about 15 acres that was across the street. They owned all of that. When I worked there, like, what was that, 2013? Nothing was right there. I got shot like in 2015. And I came back over there and I seen they had started building up. And then 2021, I seen Joe V's, which is owned by HEB. They started popping up, and then the other little Amazon bought rights. They still own land over there, but they let them lease it out. So they still making their money. The Home Depot volume never changes. Everybody come and get their tools from right there, and they bought all. They did something with the people that they got the land for, to where Lowe's couldn't put no stores around them at all. Like, if where Lowe's at is nowhere in the areas of Home Depots. It's like certain places is close by, but the majority of the areas is nowhere in the same area at all.
Salute, Flip Mode Action. Listen, I just heard you say you got shot. We ain't gonna just run right over that, nigga. Did you get shot at the Home Depot?
Shut the hell up,
leaving work.
You got shot leaving work? Did you get some good they give you some good disability and some workman's comp out that motherfucker?
Yeah.
Okay. They took okay. Salute the Home Depot.
I know that Home Depot is a part of the people that's a part of the problem, because they're part of ALEC, who they vote on the laws and anything that goes on as far as with business. Them, Coca-Cola, UPS, they all a part of that group. All of them.
Most definitely.
And they benefit from it more than anything. Like FedEx, they all in that little group together.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
What if this is all part of the grand design of scheme of things? Because, like,
what you mean? Let's go.
Know, Walmart had rolled back they DEI products, and we kind of like said we wasn't fucking with Walmart and Target and Amazon and all that shit. Like, what if, like, it's like, all right, y'all black motherfuckers didn't want to fuck with us anyway. Y'all took back y'all money, tanked our sales. Now this nigga done raise the tariffs. So we just gonna take we just gonna tank the economy and just take our business all the way overseas anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it could be that, you know, when a lot of these cats at the top, you think they would be, you know, worldly and solid people. Some of these motherfuckers petty as shit, man. So I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't doubt that at all.
Because they win anyway. They gonna win anyway. Like, okay, we take our business elsewhere. We ain't gotta worry about this racial divide that's going on in America. We don't have to pay these tariffs. We don't have to do none of that shit, and we can still make our money and probably make more money because we can charge y'all whatever the fuck we want to now
Right.
because we overseas.
Right. Right. There you go. And that's the thing, right? So what you guys have to understand, right, is like, especially a company like Walmart that's based here, that's actually their products and their service, their whole business model is likely geared towards tailoring towards the American people, right? And so if they have to leave America, then you know what I'm saying, that we're not going to be their primary, we're not going to be the primary consumer that they're trying to serve. That means the quality of our products are going to go down, the prices of our products are going to go up, and there's going to be a lot more scarcity, man. And I think she's going to go over a lot of this in this video, as far as like consumer deserts and like grocery deserts and stuff like that. But here in America, we don't know shit about that, man. But
Hey, Kelly, hold up real quick.
Yeah.
Like UPS took a loss to this shit in 2023.
Okay.
Asia, when they went, when he first said something about tariffs, they was the first ones, and like they said, for 1 quarter, nobody when they had the whole blockage with the ships not coming, they lost so much money, so they started firing people. They either trying to make them like any little thing, they letting them go. So that's why I say a lot of people are getting hurt by it, and also too, Amazon planes are bringing the mail in and UPS stuff in now.
Yeah. Amazon has a large footprint out here, man. They got a really large footprint, and they have the infrastructure to fill that gap if need be, I would imagine. You know what I mean? But I've been hearing Amazon was laying people off, man. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. This whole tariff game is making the economy do weird shit. You know what I'm saying?
The thing with Amazon laying people off though is that they can have the robots do the jobs of human people. I think that's why Amazon is kind of laying people off, because they kind of but Jeff Bezos is kind of in that 1% loop that know what the fuck is going on before the rest of society knows. So I believe that's the reason for the layoffs for him. You get what I'm saying? And for a lot of big companies, that's what it is. AI is kind of taking over. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real. Let's continue this. Let me see what we got here. Hold on.
It suggests that the policy of isolationism, the policy of tearing up trade deals and slapping taxes on imports, is hitting a breaking point. And the scary part is not just that it is happening. The scary part is that this was predicted. Economists, supply chain experts, and even some of the retail giants themselves warned that if you go down this road of trade wars, the first casualty is going to be the American consumer's wallet. And the second...
That's a fact. The first casualty is going to be the American consumer's wallet, because the country that's getting the tariff, the company that's getting the tariff, they not eating no increases, bruh. Like that's how this shit go. You talk to any talk to your local neighborhood hustler, nigga, and ask that nigga, is he paying any extra taxes? He gonna look at you like you motherfucking crazy, bruh. So we got to look at this shit at a basic level, man. Like business owners think alike, right? No business owner wants to incur any extra taxes, man.
Casualty is going to be the availability of goods. Think about the sheer scale of what Walmart moves. We are talking about a company that has a GDP bigger than many actual countries. They are the ultimate bellwether. If they are sneezing, the economy has the flu. If they are saying that the US market is becoming too toxic, too expensive, or too difficult to navigate because of these tariffs, that is not just a business story. That is a story about the viability of the American standard of living. It is a story about what happens when you prioritize political posturing over economic mechanics. And we need to get into the details of this. We need to look at exactly which tariffs triggered this. We need to look at what ditching the US actually looks like in practice. Does it mean store closures? Does it mean empty shelves? Does it mean prices doubling overnight? And we need to understand how we got to a place where the American government and the American economy seem to be at war with each other. This isn't just about one store. This is about whether the economic system we have built over the last 40 years is being dismantled brick by brick, and what that means for your grocery bill next Tuesday. Because when the dust settles, it is not the politicians who pay the price. It is the person standing at the register watching the total go up and up, wondering what happened to the deal we thought we had.
Hey, again, that's
Rachel,
a
you
fact.
better preach like this is Sunday service.
Yeah, she
Rachel is
running it,
giving
right?
it up like this is Sunday service. I like Rachel.
Yeah, she running it up, man. And she, you know, this is where I get a lot of my information from. A lot of the videos I bring to y'all, man, is just where I get my information from. And I like for things to be detailed, broken down, show me, paint me a picture. You know what I'm saying? And so she does a real good job of doing that, a factual picture of what's really going on, man. I thought this was a great story. And because it's Walmart is most definitely probably the largest retailer in the country. How they go is an indication of how the economy is going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I didn't really know
Understand
they
the
was,
gra-
I didn't
go
really
ahead.
know that they told so much of what the economics is doing in our United States. I didn't know Walmart told that much. I just thought, that's a regular. But you learning that all this shit affects us every day for real. But go ahead.
Yeah, most
Everything got a
definitely.
cause and effect. And I'm gonna say this too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey Kelly, I don't know if you remember back in the 80s when they had the little football league that was before everybody that came to the NFL with Herschel Walker now. You know who caused that to fail? Trump.
Who's that?
Because he wanted to buy a team over there. He had
You talking about the USFL?
Yep. He made them go broke, and in the end, none of them players got money. Well, they got paid out a penny.
I actually remember, you know why I remember that? Because of Marcus Dupree. The ESPN did a 30 for 30 on a cat named Marcus Dupree. It was real dope. Y'all go check that out, man. But it's he was a cat out of Oklahoma, man. He was like a freshman, but he was like a phenom. He was, he was about 6'2", 6'3", but 240, 250, you know what I mean? Like serious. He was out there killing. So he was actually trying to go to the league. I think he got hurt and he ended up going to the USFL. Yada yada, but that was around the time. Yeah, the USFL league was a league for players that you couldn't make it to the NFL, you could go jump over there. But I didn't know Trump killed it, man. I'm gonna have to go do some
because he
research
wanted
on
to buy
that.
the New York. He wanted to buy the New York Giants, and no, the NFL didn't want to let him do it. So
you know what? I think I remember hearing about that. I think I do remember hearing about that actually.
His failure. He's been a failure for a long time. He just got the Trump
Oh,
hotel,
yeah.
the Trump Tower. So that's the good
Yeah.
look on it. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like practices like that should tell you, like, damn, that's crazy. Like,
Hell, we could spend a whole show. We could spend a whole show on Trump's failures, man. Like the question I always ask people is, how the hell do you bankrupt the casino? Not once, not twice. I think he bankrupted it 3 times. So yeah, bro, money management ain't his motherfucking strong suit, regardless of what they try to sell y'all, man. Let me see what
And
else.
when I started
Let me
seeing
see.
shit in California, like companies leaving California, I'm like, man, this shit is really affecting the fucking economy. Like,
You know, with California, man, California is a tricky place, right? Because our taxes are kind of high out here, and there are places that you don't got to pay high tax. So companies do leave from California, but then they go and then they come back because they see like the quality here in California is dope. You got constant consumers. You got people here all the time. Is your weather? You ain't got the weather problems like you have in other places. So it's benefits to being here. But you know, the companies do have to pay a little bit extra to be here, and some of them don't like that. You know what I'm saying? But California has been a stable economy. I think we're like the 4th largest economy in the world. Like California can be its own, its own country if it really wanted to be. You
like
know what I'm saying?
where I stay outside of Houston, Tesla building another mega center out here, and the people are pissed off.
Yeah. It's
like the toll road. They raised up the so they can build all that shit. They raised up the prices on the toll road. I was looking last night and I seen it was like, oh, everything is going up. This sign. So I'm like, damn, why? Then I seen a sign when I went to the barbershop today by Tesla coming soon, and it was a rural area for a long time. And I said, damn, like I just moved out here where I stayed like 4 years ago. Yeah, man, I hate it. I'm about to go back to the city because I'm not about to go through this shit again.
Yeah, nah, I feel you, man. Listen, it's rough out here. You know what I mean? It's rough out here, depending on what part of the country you in, right? And so, you know, I live in California, man. We got, you know, the high taxes. We got all kind of shit that other states don't have. But, you know, other people all over the country is feeling it, man. And so, you know, again, like I just feel like a story like this is very important because a company as big as Walmart that has as big of a footprint in the American economy as Walmart does, I think how they go is an indication of how the economy's doing. You know what I mean? I think that you can make a direct correlation between what move they make and you know why they're making that move. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm gonna drop down and come. Somebody finna call me, so I'm gonna drop down. I'm gonna come right back though.
All right, fam. Salute.
All right,
Salute.
salute to you. Thank you for tapping in, King Alex.
No problem. I'll be back though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see what Rachel's talking about here. Man, let me get back to this.
Gravity of this moment, we have to look at the architecture of the machine itself. We have to go back to Bentonville, Arkansas, and look at what Sam Walton actually built. We tend to think of Walmart as a place where we go to buy things, but economically speaking, Walmart is an import engine. It is a massive vacuum cleaner that sucks up goods from manufacturing hubs around the world, primarily Asia, and deposits them in American living rooms. For 40 years, the economic logic of this country was built on a specific trade-off. We allowed our domestic manufacturing base to atrophy. We watched factories close in Ohio and Michigan and Pennsylvania. We watched those jobs go overseas. And the political class, Democrats and Republicans alike, told us that this was the natural order of things. They told us that while we might lose the factory jobs, we would gain something else: access to an endless river of incredibly cheap goods. You might not make the microwave anymore, but you can buy a microwave for $40. That was the trade-off. That was the globalization bargain. And Walmart was the physical embodiment of that bargain. They perfected the logistics of moving a shipping container from Shenzhen to Long Beach to a distribution center in Kansas faster and cheaper than anyone else in history. But now that machinery is grinding gears, and it is not because the ship stopped running. It is because the political consensus that allowed that machine to operate has been set on fire. When the Trump administration began its first trade war, it was a skirmish. It was steel and aluminum. It was a few specific categories. It was disruptive, sure, but it was manageable for a giant like Walmart. They could hedge, they could stockpile, they could squeeze their suppliers a little harder. But what we are seeing now, what is driving this headline about Walmart ditching the U.S., is a total escalation of hostilities.
A total escalation of hostilities, man, to our allies and our foes alike. Like it don't make no sense. Toya, you want to jump in on that?
I just feel like this is about to be a tumbleweed effect. You know what I mean? Like, it's starting with Walmart. Well, like she said, factories have been leaving the United States, but now to see a company that we so, like, we don't got accustomed to Walmart. We think Walmart gonna be here forever, but the fact that it could leave, that's a scary situation, and it's a glimpse on the reality of what's going on around us. Like, even to the MAGA supporters, like, wake the fuck up. Do you see what is happening? We're losing shit. While he up here painting it in their face like we're making America so powerful again. No, we're losing things. Big Lots is gone. That was my little duck off. You know what I mean? Big Lots is gone, and they replacing the Big Lots where I used to live, where I live at now, with some goods store. I forget, it's something goods. But I'm like,
99-cent store is gone. It's a lot of the retail brands that we grew up with are gone.
They just closed the Family Dollar in my neighborhood. Like, shit is leaving, bruh. And people, and why they are so fucking fixated on the words that come out of his mouth, they ain't paying attention to nothing that's going on around them. It's like they caught in a trance, dog. I can't understand it.
Yeah, I can't understand it either, man. It's cult-like mentality to me, man. And here's, you and I had these discussions in the back channel all the damn time, right? But for me, it's as a liberal, as a Democrat, or a left-leaning person, I can still criticize the leaders that we have on this side, because that's what this whole shit is all about, right? They work for us. We don't work for them. We put y'all in power. So I can criticize the job you're doing if you're doing a shit job, right? But the problem that I have with MAGA and this current Republican form, they don't, that they don't have any criticisms towards Trump. Or if they did have a criticism and Trump tells them that, it's okay, then they'll change their mind like instantly. Right. And to me, that's a cult. Like, that's a cult like behavior. You guys gonna be up on the Capitol on January 6th in 2028 again.
Oh yeah. Ain't today? What's today?
Just the 5th. I think we got one more. Yeah, it's probably the 6th. Where
right
you at?
now.
Yeah.
Today marks the anniversary of January 6th.
Yes, it does.
You should pull them clips up, because
Yes,
you
it
know
does.
what? I got into a whole freaking argument. Callie Dre, remember I invited you to the argument on
Yeah.
Instagram with them people
Yeah.
saying that they were invited to
Yeah.
the damn Capitol building. They wasn't tearing stuff up. It wasn't violent. I just
Right.
seen some shit. A commercial came through the TV and they were showing them people banging the windows the fuck
Oh, yeah.
out, smoking cigarettes in the Capitol building,
Oh, yeah.
taking fucking laptops and paperwork and shit. But y'all, yeah, man, come on, bro.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
that
whole
whole
nother show. That's a whole
yeah,
nother
yeah.
show,
We
man.
might come back. We might double back with that January 6th shit tomorrow. Tomorrow is January 6th here in California. Tomorrow, today is probably the day where y'all at. We
Yeah,
still
it's
got about
2:44.
15
I
minutes,
forgot.
but yeah, I might run this January 6th content tomorrow, man. You just gave me another show. Salute to
Yeah,
Skull
I
Gang
gotta do
Toya,
it.
man. You feel
Yeah,
me?
we gotta do it. We gotta do it.
Yeah, real shit, real shit. Let
We
me
gotta
tap in
give the
real quick.
people the information the right way. That's how I
Yeah,
feel. That's what
yeah,
I feel like. People be like, "Oh, the numbers." I don't give a fuck about the numbers. This is digital print of information. You get what I'm
yeah.
saying? And
Most
we've been
definitely.
leaving our digital prints of information. Like Sco can run back a couple of shows where we don't even gotta say verbally right now in 2026. I told you so. You can run that clip back. It's recorded.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
most
You
definitely.
can get. You
And
can always go back and research this information. You know what I mean? So that's what make me happy about getting up here talking and just spreading the word, man. It's good
yeah,
news.
and I 100% agree with that. That's a large part of the reason why I decided to launch this platform, the Remix with Callie Dre. Make sure y'all subscribe. You know what I'm saying? YouTube, TikTok, all that. But that's the part of the reason why I decided to launch this platform, man. It's because of exactly that. There's too much misinformation out here, man. And I am a person that, as we've discussed in the back channel, I'm very much qualified to be talking about these situations. I'm actually degreed in this situation, in these scenarios and these situations and these topics, man. So I think that giving out the good information, man, when you have good information, you can make good decisions, man. Good information leads to good decision making in most cases. And so for me, I think a part of the reason why we make fucked up decisions because there's so much spam and bullshit information out there, man. So,
Right.
what I try to do and what Toya tries to do, we try to provide y'all with the best research that we can find. You know what I'm saying? And if you have counter information, leave it in the comments, man. Jump in and tap in with us, man. And you know what I mean? We can have a good old fashioned spirited debate out here. You know what I mean?
And then with so much, that I feel like that's why people get sucked in and fixated on what comes out of his mouth, because it is so chaotic and it is so much coming out at one time. It is every day something. Even I get overwhelmed. I know you sometimes get overwhelmed too. Like, it's like, wait a minute, this shit
You know,
is
I'm gonna
what?
tell
Go
you
ahead.
what it is, man. I'm gonna tell you what it is, right? And that's by design, right? And that's Donald Trump's strategy. And I'm gonna tell you how I know this, because back before Donald Trump became president, he used to get sued all the time by reporters and shit like that. And he would be placing fake calls to reporters trying to get this slant or that slant. But he one of the things that he did in the legal system in New York was what he would bombard them with lawsuits, right? So he'd get a suit, he'd countersue, then he'd countersue, another entity that's related to that entity, and that was his tactic, and he was able to get out of legal situations by just simply bombarding the legal system with false false document after false claim after false claim, right? But he's taking it to court, and so that's his strategy, and it's a strategy that you know, if it can distract the court, which is a fairly, you know, intelligent body, right? What do you think? The American people don't have a stand a chance against that kind of strategy, man. And that's why it's dangerous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that you kind of answered my question. I was just wondering, like, you know, with his background, you know, I caught one felony, and for a long time, it kept me from doing anything. You know what I mean? It took me moving to another state to really get up my feet, get my feet up under me because
Yeah.
I had one felony. So what blinds people to the standard of how they judge people when it comes to this man? You know what I mean? Even when he was bankrupting shit before the 34 felonies, when he
Yeah.
had a track record of bankrupting shit, that you and Mr. King LX was just talking about how people didn't get paid another time by not working under him. You know, you got all these allegations that done followed you throughout the years since the early 90s. Why? What blinds people to that? You know what I mean? Like, what is it?
I think, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? It's the celebrity factor, man. And it's the celebrity factor. And most recently, I think his alignment with the white nationalist Proud Boys type of movement, right? But I think early on, I think it had a lot to do with just celebrity. And he actually he spoke to the crowd that was anti-Obama, the Tea Parties, and you know what I mean. That he was the first one to pull the birther card on Barack Obama, right? That whole birther movement was because of Donald Trump, and so I think his celebrity mixed with, you know, the out of control nature of just who he is. I think motherfuckers just gravitated to that shit, man, and I think they saw that as a strength. And people who have, you know, a half a brain saw that as nah, that's kind of chaotic, unpredictable, and that's not really what I want in my president. But that's just my opinion on it. Like, you know what I mean? I think the celebrity had a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? And I think that just most recently he slanted towards, well, I ain't even say he slanted. I think it was always there, but I think, you know, him going out there to Barack Obama, I think, you know, there's always been traces. Like I said, the Central Park Five, he had the Central Park Five. He was accusing them of a murder. They were exonerated, and he never gave them an apology, right? There's reports that him and his father in the 80s didn't rent to black and brown people, right? And so there is a track record there, but I just think his celebrity mixed with him leaning into that white nationalist shit, I think that's why, you know, I think that's why he's gained the support that he's gained, in my opinion. But, you know, that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? If y'all got a different opinion, put it in the comments, man. Let me know how y'all feel. You feel me? Thank you for tapping in. It's the remix with Callie Dre, man. We're going to see what else Miss Rachel talking about, man, because I love this breakdown that she's giving. I want to dive a little bit deeper into what's going on here with Walmart. Let's continue.
We are talking about universal tariffs. We are talking about a policy that views every incoming ship not as a delivery of goods, but as an economic invasion that needs to be repelled. And when you institute a blanket tariff, whether it is 10%, 20%, or 60% on specific countries, you are effectively detonating the foundation of the Walmart business model. Think about the math of a discount retailer. This is the boring part that explains everything. Walmart does not make a lot of profit on each item. If you buy a $5 t-shirt, they might make pennies on that transaction. Their power comes from selling 1 billion t-shirts. Now imagine the government steps in and says that t-shirt now costs the importer, Walmart, an extra $1 in tax. $1. It doesn't sound like much, but if the profit margin on that shirt was only 50 cents to begin with, the business model just evaporated. You are now losing money on every single shirt you sell. So what do? You cannot simply absorb the cost. You cannot just tell shareholders, sorry, we aren't making money this year. You have two options. Option A, you raise the price of the t-shirt to $7. But if you do that, your customers, who are often living paycheck to paycheck, stop buying the t-shirt. They can't afford it. Option B, you stop trying to sell t-shirts in America. You look at the map and say, where else can we do business? And this is where the ditching comes in.
Right. This is where the ditching comes in. You know what I mean? And there's only a couple of options for businesses, no matter if you're big or small, right? You still have to kind of adhere to what's going on. And a company that's like Walmart, that's publicly traded, that has a shareholders, that has a board of directors, they have a fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders. And so what that means basically is they can't just accept losses. They can't just take losses. You know what I mean? They're obligated to try to turn a profit. And so that, you know, that's the game changer right there, man. If they can't turn a profit, you have to start asking questions of why. Like, you know what I mean? And the reason why, the answer to that question is because of tariffs.
Facts.
Yeah. So let's continue.
This is the part that should send a shiver down the spine of anyone who cares about the American economy. Walmart is looking at the United States, its home, its birthplace, its biggest market, and it is seeing a hostile environment, not because of taxes on profits, but because of taxes on inventory. So logically, they are pivoting. They are looking at markets in Mexico where they have a massive presence.
Hold on. I want to stop it right there, right? Because Toya, you and I were on a panel one day. I don't know if you remember this. We was on a panel with KJ, and one of his main talking points was that the inventory of the U.S. businesses, I guess either the price of it, I think he was arguing that either the price of inventory had went down or that it was easier to get the inventory, right? But as you can see here, the tax is on the inventory. So that ultimately can't be true, right? If even if the price changed, there's still an increase in tax. You know what I'm saying? Which is either a net or, you know what I mean, it's still gonna have the price of the object going up. You know what I mean? And so this is why I implore you guys. This is why I get up here and pop my shit, man, because I want y'all to go do y'all research, man. I've done mine. I know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna bring it to y'all just like it was brought to me, and we can all make a decision on it. But if you feel otherwise, you know what I'm saying, research up and come holler at me, man, because that's what this whole thing is all about. That's what democracy is all about, man. Iron sharpens iron, man. If you got good information, slide it my way. I'm a damn sure do the same for you. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what else we got on this video, man.
They are looking at India, where they own Flipkart. They are looking at places where the government is not actively trying to make imported goods more expensive. If the U.S. government makes it prohibitively expensive to act as an importer, Walmart will simply stop acting as an importer for the U.S. and start focusing its capital where the goods can still flow freely. We are seeing the incentives realign in real time. For decades, the incentive was build it in China, sell it in America. Now, the incentive structure created by these tariffs is build it in Vietnam or Mexico and sell it, well, maybe sell it there too, or sell it in Europe, or sell it anywhere but the place that just put up a massive paywall at the border. The irony, of course.
Right. I want to stop it right there, man. I think she made an excellent point. We just put up a massive paywall at the border with all of this immigration nonsense that's going on, right? And the administration's stance on immigration. Walmart's looking at that and saying these are paying customers, right? I think, you know, a lot of companies are looking at it and saying these are paying customers. I've done the research on, you know, what the immigration population has, how much revenue it's brought to this country, and I think it was over like 100 billion, upwards of like $100 billion a year, somewhere close to that, 90 to 100 billion a year. And so,
and that's illegal, right? That was illegal.
Yeah, that was illegal.
Not the documented ones.
Yeah, exactly. That was just illegal immigration. But as she said, you know, the United States has put up a major paywall on the country, and businesses, smart businesses are going to look at that. Walmart's a very smart business. You don't become a mega conglomerate like Walmart without having intelligent people in the building. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're gonna tap in, man, and see what else Rachel talking about on this, man.
Is thick enough to cut with a knife. The stated goal of these tariffs is to bring manufacturing back to the United States. The theory is that if Walmart can't import that t-shirt cheaply, they will be forced to buy a t-shirt made in South Carolina. But that assumes there is a factory in South Carolina ready to make t-shirts. It assumes there is a workforce ready to sew them. It assumes the raw cotton and the dyes and the machinery, which are also probably imported and now tariffed, are available. But supply chains don't turn on a dime.
That's a fact. Anybody that's worked in supply chain, we could get King Alex back up here and let us know you worked at Home Depot. Supply chains do not turn on a dime. I've worked in a couple of different supply chain companies, man, and it is an operation where, you know, each department has to check a box before, you know, that product can go to the next stage. And that doesn't happen overnight, right? And so, yeah, the supply chain industry, which I think, you know, anywhere from 40 to 60% of the population probably works in either service or supply chain industries, is going to be dramatically affected by these tariffs, man.
You cannot replace 40 years of global infrastructure with a press release. So in the interim, and the interim could last for years, we are left in a void. The foreign goods get too expensive, the domestic goods don't exist yet, and the retailer that connects the two decides to pack up its ball and go play in a different stadium. This isn't just about corporate strategy. This is about the dismantling of the consumer economy as we know it. When a company the size of Walmart decides that the US market is too risky or too expensive because of government policy, they aren't just closing a few stores. They are rewiring the global flow of capital. They are saying effectively that the American consumer is no longer the most attractive customer in the world. And why would we be? If everything we want to buy has a penalty tax attached to it, our purchasing power collapses. Walmart sees this. They have the best data in the world. They know exactly what happens to demand when prices go up by 5%, let alone 20. They see the cliff coming. And rather than drive off it with the rest of us, they are steering the ship toward calmer waters. The system works by following the path of least resistance to the highest return. For half a century, that path led directly to the American suburban shopper. Today, thanks to a policy that prioritizes trade wars over trade flow, that path is being blocked.
The policy that the Trump administration is exercising with the tariffs, it is restricting businesses. It's not helping businesses flourish. It's actually helping them to close down. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think this story in Walmart, I think the story with Canada that we covered today, I think though that those all illustrate that America is losing money because of these tariffs. I mean, billions of dollars because of these tariffs, man. You got anything you want to add to that?
And then people losing their jobs because of tariffs. Because if the companies start taking losses, like I said, then businesses got to make cuts. People got to start getting shorter hours, and then people start losing their jobs. Like, I seen one report where it said the unemployment rate, it's more people unemployed right now than there are jobs, some shit like that.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, it's more people unemployed than there's jobs available. And so that is another indicator, right? And so when you look at the economy, man, there's a lot of different economic indicators, man, that you can look at to say, hey, how's the country doing, right? The stock market is not a very good indicator because the stock market only represents people who have enough money to put into the stock market, right? It's not an overall indicator of the entire country. So when they try to sell you on that stock market is an indicator crap, the stock market represents the people who got money in the stock market. That's not a representation of the entire economy. GDP growth, wage growth, you want to look at unemployment, jobs available, housing prices. Those are all solid indicators of how the country is doing economically. You know what I'm saying? And like Toya just said, we got more people unemployed than we have jobs available. I just saw a stat today. I'll try to find it, but I think the black unemployment is up to about over 8%.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Yeah,
I seen that.
Yeah. So shit real out here, bro. Shit real out here.
And Walmart is doing exactly what a rational economic actor does in that situation. They are finding a new path, one that might bypass us entirely. We have to be very clear about who takes the hit here. When the elephants fight, it is the grass that gets trampled. And in this economic brawl between the White House and the global supply chain, the grass is the American family earning less than $50,000 a year. It is important to strip away the political language of winning and look at the accounting of paying, because someone always pays. There is no such thing as free money in economics, and there is certainly no such thing as a free trade war. When Walmart faces these new tariff costs and they decide to reduce their exposure to the US market, or when they inevitably raise prices on the goods that remain, that cost is not being borne by the Chinese government. It is not being borne by the factory owner in Vietnam. It is being transferred directly and immediately to the receipt in your hand. Economists have a term for this. They call it a regressive tax. It means a tax that hits poor people harder than it hits rich people. If you are a billionaire and the price of a gallon of milk or a
Regressive tax. I think that's a very important term, man. Regressive tax. That's a tax that only hits poor people, man. Let me know in the comments, man, over the years if you've been getting hit with them regressive tax, because I know I have. They've been kicking my ass with these regressive taxes, man. Let me know in the comments, man.
pack of socks goes up by 20%, you do not even notice. It is a rounding error in your daily life. But if you are a single parent counting every single quarter to make sure you can put food on the table until Friday, that 20% increase is a catastrophe. It is the difference between having dinner and not having dinner. And this is the cruelty at the heart of this policy. Walmart's entire existence, its whole corporate identity, has been built on serving that specific demographic, the cost-conscious consumer, the people who need the low prices the most. By targeting the supply chain that makes those low prices possible, the administration is effectively levying a massive tax on the very people they claim to be championing. They are taking money out of the pockets of the working class and telling them it is for their own good, that it is patriotic to pay more for necessities because it sends a message to the world. But
I think that's a message that this administration has been pushing out, right? It's patriotic for you to be, for you to be paying higher prices. It's patriotic for you not to be getting the services that you deserve, right? I think that's a very accurate summation of, the environment that we in right now, man.
who actually benefits? If the consumer loses and the retailer loses, surely someone is winning, right? Well, follow the money. In the short term, the federal government collects the tariff revenue. It goes into the Treasury. It becomes a slush fund that the administration can use to hand out subsidies to the industries that get hurt the most by the retaliatory tariffs that always follow. We saw this with the farmers in the last trade war. The government broke the market with tariffs. The farmers lost their customers overseas. And then the government used the tariff money to write checks to the farmers to keep them quiet.
So it's a cyclical thing, man. It's just like, to me, it's just a whole bunch of fucking wasted effort, bruh. And this is another reason why I just like to try to simplify this shit, right? That whole scenario that she just went through is completely avoidable if you make the right decisions at the ballot box. When you make the right decisions with your dollar, you know what I'm saying? We can change some of this shit. But if we continue on this path of just blindly accepting what's being put in front of us without researching, without figuring out how the dots connect, without figuring out how things work, we're going to find ourselves getting taken advantage of as a people, as a country, as individuals, all the way around, man.
Nah, seriously. For real.
Yeah.
You gotta
no
wake
doubt.
up and pay attention for real.
Yeah, that part.
It is a circular broken system where the government breaks your leg and then offers you a crutch that you paid for. The other winner,
I think, wasn't that the 1776? Wasn't that money that was repurposed, that was already allotted to the military, but then Trump took it back and then gave it back to the military on another program?
Yeah, it was like the housing fund or some shit like that.
Housing
that
fund.
Congress had already approved them for. He reallocated it and gave it to them like he was giving them something.
Right.
And your boy was like, he gave us the money.
Right. Right. My boy that shall remain nameless, motherfucker. You know who you is, nigga. You quit on the gang, motherfucker. But the show must roll on. You feel me?
There are a handful of domestic industries that have been lobbied for protection. If you make widgets in America and you can't compete with the price of imported widgets, you love tariffs. You want the government to make your competitor's product more expensive so you can raise your prices without improving your product. It protects inefficiency. It rewards lobbying power over innovation. And look at the asymmetry of power here. Walmart, as massive as it is, acts as a proxy for the consumer. When they fight against tariffs, they are fighting to keep prices low. When they give up, when they ditch the U.S. market strategy because the headwinds are too strong, they are abandoning that proxy war. They are saving themselves. Walmart has the capital to survive this. They have billions in cash. They have global operations. They can weather the storm. The family in rural Ohio does not have a plan B. They do not have a global supply chain to pivot. They are stuck in a local economy that is about to get significantly more expensive. This brings us to the issue of...
Yeah, since she mentioned rural Ohio, Skull Gang Toy, did you want to tap in on that, man?
Yeah, I live in a town where it's only one Walmart. You know what I mean? So you take Walmart away, it's like, damn, where we gonna go?
Right. What we gonna do? Yeah, where we gonna go?
Where we gonna go? You know what I mean? You know, we got a couple of Krogers and shit, but Walmart is where you can run in Walmart and get a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
So
most definitely.
yeah, that's she ain't lying about that.
Most definitely. Let me see what else. We're gonna check in with this for a little bit, man. I'm gonna let y'all get out of here. But I thought this was an important video to bring up, man, and just see where we at in the current US economy, according to the largest manufacturer that we got in this economy.
Access. We talk about prices, but we also need to talk about availability. In many parts of this country, Walmart is not just a store. It is the infrastructure. It is the grocery store, the pharmacy, the clothing store, the tire shop, and the bank, all rolled into one. It is the only game in town. If Walmart scales back its U.S. operations, if they stop carrying certain low-margin goods because the tariffs make them unprofitable, we are going to see the expansion of what sociologists call deserts. Food deserts, pharmacy deserts, retail deserts. We are talking about communities being hollowed out, not by a natural disaster, but by a policy disaster. The decision to slap tariffs on everything is a decision to make it harder to be poor in America. It is a decision to make it harder to live in rural America. It is a decision that prioritizes a nostalgic fantasy of an industrial past over the urgent daily reality of millions of people who just need to be able to afford their lives. And the tragedy is that the people being hurt the most are often the ones who cheered the loudest for the tough talk, not realizing that the toughness was aimed squarely at their own purchasing power.
All you goofy ass MAGA, let me translate that. All you goofy ass, backwards thinking ass MAGA Republican motherfuckers who championed all this bullshit, y'all voting against your own interests, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the bottom line. All that tough talk y'all think y'all getting, man, that they're not leading to policies that's gonna benefit you. And that's just a fact, man.
The America First policy, when filtered through the mechanism of tariffs.
And if you disagree with that, jump in my motherfucking comments and let me know what it is. You feel me?
Ironically puts the American consumer last. It puts them behind the domestic lobbyist, behind the government revenue collector, and behind the political narrative. Walmart is simply reading the writing on the wall. They are looking at the scorecard and realizing the game is rigged against the importer and therefore rigged against the customer who relies on imports. And so they are taking their ball and going home, leaving us to stare at the empty shelves and the higher price tags, wondering when the winning is supposed to start. And this is where the political theater really separates from the economic reality and where the story gets darker. Because when the prices inevitably spike and when the inventory starts to dry up, the architects of these tariffs are not going to stand at a podium and say, we did this. We made a policy choice that raised your cost of living. That is not how politics works. Instead, we are already seeing the pivot to a different narrative. We are seeing the administration and its defenders preemptively framing this not as a consequence of tax policy, but as a failure of patriotism. They will point a finger at Walmart and say, look at this wealthy corporation turning its back on America. They will call it corporate greed. They will call it price gouging. We have seen this playbook before. When you break the market mechanics, you have to find a villain to blame for the broken pieces. And a massive faceless corporation like Walmart is the perfect villain. It is easy to hate, it is easy to demonize, but we have to be smarter than that. We have to look at the incentives. Walmart is a publicly traded company. It has a fiduciary duty to its shareholders not to light money on fire. If the government creates an environment where importing goods is a money-losing proposition, the company is legally and structurally obligated to stop doing it. To expect them to absorb massive losses out of a sense of national loyalty is not an economic strategy. It is a fantasy. It is asking a shark to stop swimming. The administration knows this. The trade representatives know this. But they are banking on the fact that the explanation, the part about supply chains, margins, and tariff pass-through rates, is too complicated for a 30-second attack ad. They are banking on the emotional resonance of America first, overpowering the mathematical reality of America expensive. This brings us to the key actors who are steering the ship.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I think y'all kind of get a gist of where I was trying to go with this shit, man. Walmart basically is looking at the landscape and they about to get the fuck on, man. They have these tariffs, they not feeling it. They're the largest manufacturer in the country. They provide a lot of different services, tire repair, grocer, banker, all in one woo-wop, you know what I mean? All in one shop. And especially in rural areas, you know what I mean? And so that's a major problem, man. I think this was an important video for us to watch, just to get a pulse of where the economy is in 2025 and how, you know, one of our largest retailers is looking at, you know, our economic future. You know what I mean? Toya, you wanna add anything?
Nah, I think everything you said was like really spot on. Like, it's not looking too good for us,
Appreciate it.
real. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for real though.
It's not really looking too good for us, and I just wish that people would just. I mean, I believe that people are starting to wake up. I can't even say I wish people would wake up no more because I believe people are starting to see things. You still got people that's gonna stick to their guns and say, nah, I wasn't wrong just for the sake of not wanting to be wrong, you know, but I believe like people are starting to see what the fuck is going on. But at the same time, we gonna be here to kind of give you a heads up before it really do
Most
happen.
definitely.
You know what I mean? Because I
Most
think we
definitely.
both always kind of looking ahead to see, hold on, what could this be? Or when they trying
Most
to show you
definitely.
something over here, what's going on over here? You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
yeah.
most definitely. And I think that, you know, we both have a passion for that, man. For the, you know, shout out your channel, Toya, so people could go follow you.
Oh, my channel is It's Toya Baby. You could definitely follow me on YouTube and Twitch and Instagram. It's Toya Baby on all platforms, man. You can hit me up, man. I'm always over there talking about something. I have random lives about politics all the time. So just hit me up.
Hit her up. She
This
on
was
top of
fun,
her
Callie
game.
J, man. I'm sorry about the technical
Oh,
difficulties
yeah, it's all good.
in the
It's all
beginning,
good.
but yeah.
It's all good. It went real smooth. I appreciate you coming up here, man, and rocking with me on this because I know that this is something that's important to you. It was important to me as well. And you know, you're gonna be seeing a lot of Toya. You're gonna be seeing a lot of me. We appreciate y'all tapping in, man. But we finna get the hell out of here, man. You ain't got to go
Man,
home. You
Callie,
got to be driving.
I just want to say, I just feel so proud of you. You really doing your thing, man. It look nice
Thank
over
you.
here. You know, you
Thank you.
got your intro set up, you got your microphone. You know, I really think you're gonna do great things, man. You really doing good things. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I
All right,
appreciate it,
Callie,
man. And
I'm out of
all
here.
the yeah, peace out Toya, man. Yeah, I appreciate all the game that you've been helping me with, man. She's real knowledgeable, man. She definitely is on top of her game. And y'all tap in with her, man. You know what I'm saying? And stay connected with us. We're gonna bring y'all this real information, man. We're gonna bring y'all this independent media. We're gonna bring y'all good analysis. And you know what I'm saying? We're gonna do the homework so you ain't got to. But if you want to, go ahead and do it. We want you to. You know what I mean? But like I said, people be busy. It's a lot of stuff going on. People aren't directly, you know, tapped into politics day to day. And for me, you know, like I said, it's a passion of mine. It's definitely you know, something that interests me a lot. And, I have a circle and I have a team of people who, share those same interests, man. So I'm going to be bringing them to y'all. I'm going to be bringing y'all a lot of different content as well, man. We're going to tap in with this politics, but I'm gonna also bring y'all, a little bit of music content. I'm gonna bring you guys, a little bit of maybe some street content. You know what I'm saying? We might talk some street politics and bring some, some up and coming on the rise talent on the show. You know what I mean? I got a few things planned, but right now I'm just kind of rolling out slow, getting my feet wet. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate y'all again for tapping in with me. Get the likes up, get the comments up, subscribe to the channel. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. Cali Dre, the remix with Cali Dre. You know what I'm saying? So tap in with me, man. YouTube, especially. Subscribe to me on YouTube. You know what I mean? And I appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. And let me know in the comments if it's any topics you want me to cover. And we're gonna keep this thing going, man. But I appreciate y'all, you know what I mean, and we're gonna definitely keep bringing y'all this good content, man. I ain't started the outro and started the motherfucker prematurely, man. We're gonna have this smoke for y'all though, man. So stay tapped in with me, and we're gonna tap in with y'all, man. I'm about to get the hell out of here, man. Salute.
Banged out starter caps glued to the cul-de-sac, looking like an artifact, trying to get their money back. Yellow jackets coming, mama about to have a heart attack. Southeast San Diego, we was at the heart of that. You moved about the hood, my nigga, you ain't want no part of that. Move to work and let the money drip the laundry mat. I pray to God the homie get his little daughter back. So many problems and it's not even a part of rap. So many suckers and they hating and they copycat. And life is bigger than these bitches that you hollered at. And if you bleed it out, I better get $3 back. And all I'm giving is the facts. Pay attention to the stats and never making mention of the jacks. Gotta keep the money stacked, work your way through the traps. Money motivated to the max. Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right. Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right. Money on my mind.